Alright, so we are going to look at our study guide, and we're going to review starting on the back. I want to start on the back. DJ, where's the one I gave you yesterday? Alright, so a lot of your test tomorrow is multiple choice. Okay? Now, it's a good or a bad thing. It's good because if you know what you're doing, you know you have the right answer. It's bad because you don't know what you're doing, you just don't know what you're doing. So, but this is what I wanted to get to. You see this right here? The area of the base of a prism. This is your test, right here. This is your test. The area of the base of a prism. I literally used these same questions and changed the numbers. Okay? So, if you know how to use it, then you're going to be fine. But don't try to just memorize the answers because I changed them. So, the first portion of your test tomorrow is all telling me what kind of shapes these are. Okay? So, know, that round thing that looks like a Coke can is a cylinder. A beach ball is a thing that we eat ice cream is a cone. Okay, now one thing I want to talk about. Now, don't judge me. Okay, don't judge my drawing. What's that kind of look like? A tent. What's a tent? A pyramid. Okay? Okay, it's meant to look like a pyramid. But here's the thing. It's going to, on your test tomorrow, it's going to say what kind of pyramid. I know it's a pyramid, but what kind? You base your pyramids on this bottom piece right here. So if all the sides are the same, then what kind of pyramid is it? A square pyramid. If it's a rectangle, then it's a rectangular pyramid. Okay, based on whatever the bottom is. So, what's this? A square pyramid. You see? All of them are the same. Square pyramid. Okay? Now, let's start with number 10. Don't overthink this just because there's words. The area of the base of a prism. Prism, write down the formula for prism right now. V equals what? Big B times little h. The area of the base. It just gave you what? Big B. It just gave you big B. The area of the base. It just gave you big B. And the height is 10. Is that all we need? Big B and 10? Yes. Okay, we'll plug them in and you have your answer.
How do you know, how do you know we got a half it or not?
What do you mean half it?
Like, look at here.
It's up there.
10 and it's like cut it down to 5.
If it's a triangle? Hold on. Can we just go through some of these? Okay. Seth, it's up there, but I gave you one yesterday. If y'all are going to lose stuff, don't take it the first day I give it to you. Alright, next. A sphere has a volume. Sphere, go find the formula and write it down, Desmond. Volume of a sphere is 4/3 pi r to the third.
Wait, do you want to write the formula without anything plugged in?
I mean, it's up to you. This one I would. And here's the reason. A sphere has a volume. It just gave us the volume. What we have to find is the radius. It gave us the volume. We have to find the radius. So you have to use this formula. Guys, I would really be paying attention. You have to use this formula and work backwards. I know that the volume is 64 pi. And all this other good stuff gives me the volume. But I want to solve for the radius. So let's solve. This is an algebraic equation. It's just like solving for variables in algebra. What do both sides have that I could cancel out? Pi. Cancel it out. Good. Okay, now I would divide both sides by 4/3. 64 divided by 4/3. So I got 48. So now I'm left with 48 equals r to the third power. This is not the same thing as r squared. To take r to the third power, there should be a button on your calculator, and it has x square root. Okay, you see it? It has x and then square root. Type in 3, and then second x square root, and then type in 48. So it should look like this in your calculator. 3x square root 48. What'd you get? Yeah, I got 3.6. So your radius is 3.6. What? 3.6 inches. Not cubed, because we're just talking about the radius. Okay. Now, number 12, what shape are we talking about? Cylinder. So go find the volume of a cylinder, and let's write it down. Volume equals pi r squared h. Well, what did they give us? The volume and the radius, and they want us to solve for the height. So again, let's just plug everything in. I know the volume is 703.7. I know that the volume equals this. Pi, your radius is 4, so 4 squared. And then we're solving for h. What is 4 squared? 16. So you could do 703.7 divided by 16 pi. If you're going to do it at the same time, put your parentheses. 16 pi. Put parentheses around the 16 pi. That will cancel this, and you'll be left with your height. Because 4 squared is 16.
Okay, you know how you have to do that.
Did y'all get 13.99999?
Yeah.
I'm listening.
How do you know when you're supposed to divide it by 2?
When I have to divide it by anything? Or divide it by 2? Are you talking
Like that, like the split it in half.
like the hemisphere? It'll say hemisphere. Okay? All right, your height was 14 centimeters. Okay, next, 13. A what? What's it talking about?
Pyramid.
Okay, well, I know a pyramid is 1/3 big B times h. It has a height of 25 inches and a base area. Anytime you see base area, that means what? Big B. Big B is your base area. So we're not even having to find the big B. They're giving it to us. So your height is 25, big B is 50. So just plug both of those in and you have your answer. Okay, I'm going to skip that one. Y'all can do it. Number 14. We're finding the volume of a cone. We'll go find the cone formula and let's write it down. 1/3 pi r squared height. Hey, follow along with me. I'm going to give you time to go back, okay? Follow with me and I'll let you go fill in when we're done. Just because it says oblique does not mean anything. It means that it's just going to the side, but your height is still 2. So you know your height, you know your radius. Plug it in and you'll have your answer. Okay, let's go to number 15. What's given to us in 15? The diameter. How do I find the radius? Divided by 2. So that's the only tricky part about that one. Then you just plug it into your formula. Okay, 16. This is a pyramid, but what kind of pyramid? Hint, look at the base. What's it called? Square pyramid. I know I'm skipping through some of these, but they're the ones where you just have to plug it in. And so I want to make sure I get through all of them to at least talk about them. 17. A cylinder with a radius of 7, height of 17. Well, for a cylinder, all I need is radius and height. Okay? Nothing's tricky about that one. You have your height and your radius, just plug them in. 18. A sphere has a 24 centimeter diameter. Well, what do I need to find a sphere? Diameter or radius? Radius. So your radius is half, which is 12. Then plug it in. Okay, 19. Look with me at 19. A square pyramid, aka this right here, a square pyramid has a height of 10. So it just told us the height of this pyramid. The height is 10, and it's a square, which means all of the bottom pieces are the same because it's a square. And base with sides that are all 8 centimeters. So if they're all 8 centimeters and it's a pyramid, then I know I have to do 1/3 big B times H. Well, our big B is a square. So to find big B, I have to do 8 times 8, which is 64. What's the height of the pyramid? 10. So 1/3 times 64 times 10, and that'll give you your answer. This is your test tomorrow. A square pyramid has a height of 8 centimeters long and a base with sides that are 9 centimeters long. Do you think you need to know how to do this one? Okay, can we go to the front? Are we good on the back? What? Can you know the answer? It's already on Google Classroom. Okay. Well, excuse me. I got 169.6. All right, let's look at the front. What kind of shape is number 1? Arturo, what kind of shape is number 1? Cylinder. Destiny, what's this top piece that's given? What's the whole thing called? A diameter, but we need the radius. So the only part about this is that you have to divide this diameter by 2 to get the radius. Okay? Bryson, what kind of shape is this?
Cylinder.
Cylinder. What's the radius, Bryson?
4.
What's the height? 6. It's just turned sideways. Okay? Plug it in, and you'll get the answer. Number 3. Can I tell you a trick?
Yeah.
If it's a prism and it's a rectangular or square, this doesn't work for all of them. But if it's a rectangle or square prism, like 3 and what else? 4 and 6. If it's a square or a rectangle prism, to find the volume, all you have to do is length times width times height. So if you have 3 numbers, just multiply all 3 numbers together. Okay? It's different if it's different shapes, and that's why I taught you the way I did. Because for 5, that's a prism, but you can't just multiply all 4 of those together and get the right answer. In this prism, what's the only shape you see twice? A triangle. You see it? There's this one and then the back one. Okay, well, remember, don't ever use the what for the base of the height? Hypotenuse. So we don't even need 10. That's the hypotenuse. It's just causing trouble. Okay? So we have 8 here. And then if this back piece is 6, isn't the front piece 6? Okay, so this is a prism, which means I need big B times little h. Well, this is a triangle. So when I'm finding big B, I have to use the area of a triangle, which is 1/2 B times height. So big B is 1/2 your base times your height. 48 divided by 2, yep, 24. Okay, now remember, the height of a prism is the distance between the two shapes that are the only ones you see. So the height of this prism is the distance between the front triangle and the back triangle, which is this right here. So your height is 5. So to find the volume of this prism, you would do 24 times 5. Bryson, will you turn that air on?
Good question, but I want back.
Local. I got 120.
Me too.
Yes, Desmond.
I don't want them back. We're not cute those.
You are. But like for this one, this is just the height, so it's not cubed. The radius isn't going to be cubed. It's only cubed when it's volume. That's another good thing about multiple choice. The units are in it, so you can't forget it. Okay. Then number 7 is going to be done just like number 5. And then this is a square pyramid. So if this is 14, then this side is also 14. Do I need to do this one with this? Okay, it's a pyramid. So we need to find our big B and little h. Well, the area of this base, if it's a square, we just do 14 times 14. Which is 196. And then plug it in. What I mean by writing the formula is I need to see this part. 1/3 times 196 times 12. So when you plug all that in, you'll get your it is 12. It is 12. The height of the pyramid is 12. Each side of these are 14. Okay? What's different about 9? I have the radius and I have the slant height, but I don't have the real height. Remember the ice cream cone outside yesterday? It gave you the radius and this piece right here, but we had to find the actual height. Which, if it's a 90-degree triangle, we can use Pythagorean theorem. What's C? What side is C? What's the hypotenuse?
17.
17. So to find it, we do 17 squared equals 9 squared plus x squared. So you should get that the height is equal to 14.4. And then this is a cone. So you have 1/3 pi r squared times h. So 1/3 pi, your radius is 9 squared times 14.4. Then tell me your answer. Bless you. Do you feel better about this?
Yes.
Okay. Now, so you know exactly what to expect tomorrow. The first 6 I told you were matching. Okay, it's just shapes and you match them to what kind they are. Is it a pyramid, a cone, a sphere, a cylinder? Then there are 13 multiple choice questions, like the ones on the back of your study guide. And then there are 5 just like this. You have to do them like the front of your study guide. Okay? That's all there is. So what I need you to do right now is I need you to finish and look on Google Classroom to make sure your answers are correct. Okay? If you see that one of your answers isn't correct, you need to come to zero period in the morning, or right now if you finish now, and figure out why.